Some leaders come and go, others stay in the soul of a nation long after their tenure ends. Field Marshal Asim Munir has become one such leader for Pakistan. Let's look at his multidimensional legacy: national security and sovereignty. He operationalized deterrence without escalation. He neutralized internal threats without compromising rights. He secured CPEC, SIFC, borders and cyber defense without handing over the control. He proved Pakistan is secure and not submissive. Pakistan became a balancing power under his command, not a buffer state. With Russia, China, US, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Central Asia, he built multi-vector strategic links. He presented Pakistan as a connector of civilization, not a consumer of conflict. And millions of youth view service, not slogans, as the future. So what does it mean to be a field marshal in Pakistan today? It's not about medals or uniform. It is about being a symbol of continuity, courage, and clarity. Field Marshal Asim Munir embodies all three. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am your very own Fariha Farrukh. Welcome to 360 Digital English. Do not forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Today's topic: the legacy, the justification, and Pakistan's unshakable hope. You are right. We are talking about Field Marshal General Syed Asim Munir. Some leaders come and go. Others stay in the soul of a nation long after their tenure ends. Field Marshal Asim Munir has become one such leader for Pakistan, not just for what he achieved, but for what he inspired. He inherited a Pakistan at the edge of fragmentation, institutional friction, economic collapse, youth alienation, and external pressure. But instead of blaming the past, he led with clarity, purpose, and vision. He restored order without revenge. He demanded excellence without arrogance. Let's look at his multidimensional legacy: national security and sovereignty. He operationalized deterrence without escalation. He neutralized internal threats without compromising rights. He secured CPEC, SIFC, borders, and cyber defense without handing over the control. He proved Pakistan is secure and not submissive. Talk about economic stabilization? He championed economic diplomacy, brought Gulf investments, reassured China, deterred sanctions from the West. Most of all, he proved that a secure state is an investable state. Talk about geostrategic repositioning? Pakistan became a balancing power under his command, not a buffer state. With Russia, China, US, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Central Asia, he built multi-vector strategic links. He presented Pakistan as a connector of civilization, not a consumer of conflict. Talk about internal cohesion. He crushed the narrative of despair, reunified civil and military purpose, re-established the army's role as a servant, not master of the people, and brought faith, humility, and national healing to the forefront. When we talk about youth empowerment and nation building, his legacy lives not just in the barracks but in classrooms, skill centers, and rural communities. Thousands of children now go to army-adopted schools. Dozens of former insurgents are now proud state builders. And millions of youth view service, not slogans, as the future. So what does it mean to be a field marshal in Pakistan today? It's not about medals or uniform. It is about being a symbol of continuity, courage, and clarity. Field Marshal Asim Munir embodies all three. Let's examine the justification for his elevation to field marshal by looking at history. Pakistan has had only one field marshal before, Ayub Khan. His elevation came from winning wars and stabilizing early statehood. But in many ways, General Asim Munir faced even greater tests: internal sabotage, economic implosion, hybrid threats, and post-truth warfare. And he passed every test with constitutional loyalty and composure. Unlike many before him, he never sought political power. He never used the uniform for personal glory. He never allowed internal vendettas to dictate external policy. Instead, he defined power as service under pressure. Examples of his valor: from fighting in Siachen as a young officer to leading military intelligence and ISI in some of Pakistan's darkest hours, to facing down organized terror and foreign subversion, he stood tall. Not once did he blink. In 2019, when suicide bombers were targeting army convoys in North Waziristan, General Syed Asim Munir personally visited troops on the front lines. He slept in field tents, walked mine-prone terrain, listened to each soldier's story. This nation owes you, not the other way around, he told them. In 2023, when foreign-backed insurgents attacked CPEC routes in Balochistan, he led real-time operations from the control room coordinating air-ground surveillance to save 72 Chinese engineers. That day, China's president personally called the Pakistani ambassador and said, "We thank the man who defends our friendship with his life." In 2024, when a major cyber attack was detected targeting SIFC and MOF networks, General Asim Munir deployed cyber military units within hours. The breach was stopped before any damage occurred. It was later revealed that a foreign state had orchestrated the attack. Pakistan's resilience in the digital domain became a regional benchmark. Yet with all this man remains humble. You won't find leaked audio tapes or chest thumping. You'll only find dignity, discipline, and results. In a world full of noisy populism, he stands as a quiet professional. He leads not from Twitter, but from the trenches, not from palaces, but from principles. That's why even critics acknowledge he may not say much, but he gets things done. Today, Pakistan's enemies fear his strategy. Pakistan's allies trust his word. Pakistan's people believe in his leadership because he gave them something no one else did. Hope with structure, vision with humility, power with responsibility. If you talk about the long-term strategic impact, well, future generations will remember him as the architect of Pakistan's post-crisis renaissance, the one who pulled the nation back from the edge, who taught the armed forces to serve the soul, not just strength, who helped citizens rediscover pride in their flag, who left behind not chaos, but continuity. His elevation to the Field Marshal is not a ceremonial reward. It's a symbol of institutional revival and national resilience. It says to every Pakistani, if you serve with integrity, the nation honors you. It says to our enemies, Pakistan remembers its defendants. And it says to history, leadership can still be noble. Today, schools across Pakistan mention his name alongside Tipu Sultan and Quaid-e-Azam, not because he asked for it, but because he earned it. Because he made the people believe again, and the belief is the seed from which national greatness grows. In tribal jirgas, his photo hung beside national heroes. In refugee camps, 8 trucks still bear his initials. In military colleges, his quotes are now part of textbooks. And in homes, mothers now say, "Be like General Asim Munir, strong, silent, and sincere." So let us reflect who actually is General Syed Asim Munir. A soldier? Yes. A strategist? Absolutely. And above all, a servant of Pakistan. He didn't ask to be a hero. He chose to be useful, responsible, and just. And that is rarer than heroism. It is legacy. Pakistan today stands stronger, prouder, and more united because of him. That is the truth. That is the evidence. That is the essence of a field marshal. We now look towards the future, a future full of challenges, hybrid wars, economic instability, global competition. But one thing is different now. We are not afraid because we have seen what strong, disciplined leadership looks like. Because we know what national duty means. Because we have witnessed the rise of a man who reminded us this country is worth serving, worth protecting, worth believing in. Field Marshal Asim Munir did not just change the policy, he changed the national mood. From cynicism to confidence, from fatigue to faith. In the army, he's known as the calm in the storm. Among civilians, he's known as the silent stabilizer. To enemies, he's the unknown variable. But to Pakistan, he is and will always be the defender of hope. So let us honor him not just in words, but by upholding his values: discipline, service, restraint, courage, integrity, and above all, love for Pakistan. As the sun sets on one chapter of his service, another arises. His influence will echo in cadets, scholars, citizens, and leaders yet to come. Because real leaders plant seeds of greatness they will never live to harvest. The Field Marshal's journey is not about titles or ceremonies. It's about the silent victories, the lives protected, the policies stabilized, the dreams awakened. He taught us that patriotism is not loud. It is disciplined, sincere, and humble, and that is why his name will forever be in Pakistan's history. So as I sum it up, when you speak of Pakistan's new era, remember the soldier who did not ask for applause, he asked for results. The leader who did not chase fame, he chased responsibility. The field marshal who did not rule, but who rescued the republic. Today, in every province, people feel that something has changed. It is not just stability. It is not just development. It's something deeper. It's dignity. It's direction. It's decency and leadership. That is the final victory of Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir, and may Allah continue to bless him with strength, wisdom, and protection, because his strength is Pakistan's strength. To every listener, student, officer, and patriot hearing this, let's not just admire Field Marshal Asim Munir, let's emulate his example. Let's rise with values, serve with silence, lead with humility, and believe like he believed. Pakistan first, always. Thank you so much. May we be worthy of the legacy he built. May we honor it in action, not just in speeches. And may we all be in our own way soldiers of Pakistan's hope. For all you watching viewers, do subscribe, like, share, comment. Till then, it's me signing off. Take care. Allah Hafiz.